Hi everyone, Bifties here. Welcome to my Exile. I wanted to start a new series of videos which is Should You Play? And I want to take a look at the games that I'm playing, some of the best games that have come out recently. But because games are so expensive now, and I think it's quite surprising at how disappointing some of the big games that we are looking forward to have been, that I'm going to take a look back at older games that are still good, that maybe you missed, that maybe I missed and I'm trying out for the first time now. But the obvious choice for the first game to look at is Path of Exile 2. Now that's the big game that I've been playing, and if you've seen any of my other videos then you'll know that the channel actually started because of this game. It's the new isometric action ARPG. If you've ever played Diablo 3 or 4, then it's going to be very similar to that. I'm going to assume that anyone that has played Path of Exile 1 has already played this, has played the new game and won't need to watch a video like this. But if you haven't played Path of Exile 2 yet, it's been out for around about 3 months now. It's still in early access, so you've probably got another 6 months, I suspect, while it's still in early access, and it's currently running with very positive, about 80% SteamDB rating. The recent reviews only give it mostly positive, but this tends to be because while it's in early access, there have been some changes and some nerfs, and that's obviously annoyed some people because the build that they've created has been nerfed and they're going to have to start again, or they're going to have to make big changes. But I think it's reasonable to expect that when a game is in early access, so I think that we should all judge it based on that. And I would say that even though it is in early access, it's already the best ARPG that I've ever played. It's certainly, in my opinion, superior to Diablo 4, which I was very disappointed with. I put £100, say $100, into playing that early, and I didn't get nearly as much out of it as I already have out of this game. And I've only paid £24 for this. That's $30 for you guys in America. And I think it's absolutely worth it. Now, the game is going to be free to play once it's fully released. Now, I expect that to be December of 2025 when it's fully released, but some people are hoping for earlier than that. So you can hold out for it to be free to play, but I actually think for just this amount, $30 is not a lot to be paying for a game that you should get a lot out of these days. I think that it's absolutely excellent money for value. There are additional supporter packs, and what happens is when you buy the supporter packs and you get access to the game in early access, you do actually get your money converted to in-game currency. And what I would suggest is that when you come to use that you actually buy the stash tabs that are available, because it does make playing the game easier. So if you're not going to put a lot of money into it, then probably you just need a single supporter pack. You can go over and get this one, and that will probably, if you wait for a sale, give you enough of the stash tabs that you're going to need to that will make the game better for you. Now, there haven't been any deals on ITAD. Does anyone call it ITAD? Is there any deal? If you're not familiar with this website, I think it's absolutely fantastic. I didn't have something like this really available to me, or I wasn't aware of sites like this when I was on Xbox. I've only come over to Steam, or back to Steam, in the last couple of years. I'm a controller gamer and I'm a Steam Decker. But the fact that you can go onto a site like this where you can find out all of the deals, like I said, there hasn't been one here for Path of Exile 2 yet, but the website is excellent. You can connect it to Steam and you can pull in your wish list, and then it will actually give you all of the deals. So I tend not to buy any games at full price anymore. I don't even like to buy games for launch anymore because of pretty much Diablo 4 ruined that for me. I wish I hadn't paid the money I had. I think it also put a lot of pressure on the game. I actually now wait to see what the community thinks of the game. I'm a big Asmongold fan. I'll look out for Rax and Darth with games such as this. And if they're all telling me that it's good, then I might go and pick it up pretty quickly. Black Myth Wukong was a really good example. The feedback was excellent straight away. I waited maybe one day, saw all the reviews, and found out that it was doing really well. Anyway, back to Path of Exile 2. I think, as I said, it's probably the best ARPG ever. It's different from Diablo 4. If you like Diablo 4, then it may or may not be the game for you. It's harder and the mob densities are smaller, but one of the things that really does make it quite different is that Diablo 4 has the big, expensive, impressive cutscenes, and Path of Exile 2 does not. They haven't put their money into that. They've put their money, their time, and their effort into perfecting the mechanics, and I think the mechanics are absolutely excellent. But if you're somebody that wants great cutscenes, and I really do enjoy those, I like a lot of games that have that, and I thought that they were really good in Diablo 4. It was more the gameplay that let it down. But Path of Exile 2 doesn't have that. It's more of just gameplay. There's a couple of scenes between certain acts, but they are more of an animated comic type scenario. So possibly that's not going to be what you want. Now, the game's done exceptionally well. It had over 500,000 people at launch. It's only got 35,000 in there at the moment, but I think the top was over 500,000, and I thought that was absolutely excellent. It's the sort of game where you can come back to it every few months. While it's in early access, there's just going to be updates, but once it's fully launched, then you're probably going to get a new season every few months, and that then means that you can go back in, maybe start a new character, try it out. At the moment, there are only 6 classes available, but there's a patch due out in the next few weeks that will hopefully give us the Druid as an additional class. There's 2 ascendancies available for each class, so you've got 12 potential builds that you can play, possibly 14 once the Druid comes out, and there may also be in that patch a couple of additional ascendancies. My favourite class is the Mercenary. I'm addicted to the crossbow, and I'm hearing that the 3rd ascendancy, because there will be 3 for every class, the 3rd ascendancy for the Mercenary may be coming out in the next patch, so I'm really excited about that. I've already got my 3rd Mercenary build through to a certain point, and it's waiting to see whether or not that ascendancy comes out, because I should be able to do it straight away. Like I said, the numbers were really good on it. It's the game's got about 80% at the moment, but I think people are being overly critical because it's still in early access and because changes happen. But I'm a huge fan. One of my favourite parts of the game is this section. This is the Dreadnought run, as I call it. This is the Dreadnought, and I think this is my Witch build. I played the Witch first because the Witch has a load of minions with her. You can see there, that's not everything that I'm fighting. It can be a little bit overwhelming because there's a lot going on the screen at once, and I've found in endgame that she can be a little bit confusing. But I absolutely love this part of the game. You're going to go through, there's a boss at the end. This is somewhere near, or this is towards the very end of Act 2. There's 3 acts available at the moment, and there will be an additional 3 acts coming out. But at the moment, while it's in early access, you're going to play through all 3 acts, and then you're going to play them again on a harder difficulty. It's called crawl mode, not crawling around on the floor, but crawl as in mean. For some reason, whenever I say that, it just doesn't sound quite right. Cruel, I don't know. I just can't say it. But I think the game's absolutely fantastic. If you're unsure if you should play it, then maybe you want to wait for later in the year when it's free to play. But I think for $30, just under £25 UK. It's not a lot to fork out. I've got 250 hours in the game, and I don't see any end in sight for that. So I think you're definitely going to get your money's worth. And in a time when games are now going to be about maybe up to £100 and can be really disappointing, I don't think that you will be disappointed with this game. It's harder than you might be used to if you've played isometric ARPGs, but I think that that's good. I think that it makes it matter more. Their mechanics are excellent, and they are only going to be improving it. Endgame isn't fleshed out. I've had comments to some of my other videos where they think that the campaign is probably about 3/4 complete, with just the additional acts to be released and maybe some tweaks. But maybe the end game is at best 25% complete. So there's going to be a lot more coming to that. I think there's enough content to play through the acts with multiple classes, and maybe you even want to wait like I have, learn the game, and maybe play end game a bit more once it's been fleshed out, once people have once the developers have actually fixed it all and made it more perfect. Well, that's it for the first video in Should You Play? I hope it was helpful to you. I really do hope you check out the game. I'll stick some links in the description, and I'm probably going to be covering one of my favourite games from about 10 years. It's about 10 years old in the next video, and then I'm a bit of an addict for roguelike and roguelite games, so I'm going to cover one of my favourites in that in a future video as well. Thanks for watching. I'm Bifties. This is The Cave. Welcome to my exile. See you all next time.